at the end of the ball game. So, and this brings me back to my point about the Minnesota Vikings. The last 6 quarters of the 2017-2018 seasons was their worst football defensively. It was. The last 6 quarters. You look what the first half, what they did against Drew Brees and their offense early on, they shut it down. I think Drew threw 2 picks. Second half, Drew Brees looked like an MVP. It's just that one play covered up how bad that team actually played. They just got to the end zone. But when they went to Philadelphia just shut all that down. There's times and times where this team just don't come together, if you ask me. There are multiple times where this team just don't come together. All the time. Now, do I expect them? I expect them to come out with a lot of energy. They have a short week to kind of put that Bills games behind them, try to get back on the field and fix the mistakes that they had. But just looking forward, I mean, this game means a lot because if you don't want to fall behind the sticks at 1-2-1, when you got potentially see the Lions who just beat the Patriots are now 1-2. I don't know who they play. Excuse me, guys, this weekend, but they can have a chance to try to get back in the thick of things this weekend. You also got Green Bay, who's playing the Bills this week, who need to try to, they didn't get stunned, but I ain't see them losing to the Redskins this past weekend. They did. So now they trying to get back into the hunt of the division early, so they can try to find themselves at 2-1-1. And then you got the Bears, who's the best team in the division right now, 2-1. Key wins over the Seattle Seahawks, and they also got a win over the Arizona Cardinals. It ain't been pretty, but they surely got the dubs. So the Bears, right, and easily, truly, if the Bears finish that football game against Green Bay, they'll be 3-0. They'll be the leaders of the conference right now. 3-0. Ain't been the prettiest of games that they won, but doggone it, they'll be 3-0. Or right now they 2-1. They are the division leaders. If I am Minnesota and I'm looking around, knowing how important this game is, and I know this is going to be the wrap up of the first quarter of the NFL season. So the first quarter of the season is going to be done after Monday night. So we're going to be officially in October going into week 5 next week. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you just like it is. I think that the biggest thing that we don't pay attention to is look at the rest of the divisions in the conference. You got the Saints, the Bucks, Carolina, and I'm not going to disrespect Atlanta because Atlanta can easily find themselves back in the mix. All in the mix right now in the NFC South. You're also looking in the NFC East. You have the Redskins and the Eagles at 2-1, and I know the Cowboys just don't look too impressive to me. They 1-2, and you got the Giants 1-2. The Giants has got their first victory of the year this past weekend. The NFC North, I just said about them. And look at the NFC West. They kind of the Rams already kind of starting to pull away from everybody else in the division. So if you tell me this, I think that right now, the Vikings is sitting down looking at it like this. We need to go ahead and put ourselves back in the mix. Let's take down the team that we might see later on in January. Take them down now and give ourselves some momentum for later. Our schedule don't get no easier because we got to face the Saints later. The Saints got it on their mind. I really think, be honest with you, I think if Minnesota not prepared, I think the Saints can come in with flashbacks. And I think New Orleans is going to come in with a vengeance, if you ask me. That's a game I'm concerned about, and that's a game we're going to talk about later on when it get closer and closer, because it ain't too far away. But I think the Saints have it on their mind. For the fact of the matter is, they know they should have won that game. And if they struggling like this against the Bills, and don't get no disrespect to the Bills, because the Bills defensively, it's not too bad. They haven't been too bad for the last couple of years. But if they struggling like that against the Bills, That's why I want to see what's going to happen tomorrow. I like what Jared Goff is doing. He having a heck of a season so far. You know, Brandon Cooks don't have a touchdown yet. That's kind of scary, a little bit low key. I'm telling you guys, I'm interested to see what's going to happen these next couple of days. I want to see how this Vikings team is going to respond. I want to see how this Vikings defense is going to respond. I want to see how this Vikings offense is going to respond against this big physical defense. It was kind of a bad time to go cold against the Bills, but now you got to respond. You get a short week, come back out, and I'm going to predict this game. I'm going to give it to the Rams. I'm sorry. I'm going to give it to the Rams 31-20. Will be my final score. I think the Rams are going to win this game and win it to make a statement to the rest of the conference that we are here, and if you want to get to the Super Bowl, you're going to have to go through the Coliseum to get there, to get to Atlanta. I think this is the type of game that you make a statement to the conference, not only your division, but to your conference. Everybody has statement games. Like, prime example, the Saints made a statement game this past weekend with the Falcons. How many times Matt Ryan took punches at New Orleans, and New Orleans still continued to punch back with him? That was a statement game to their division, not to the conference. Beat somebody outside your division. You're going to tell a lot. You go in, you could beat the Rams. To me, the Saints got the golden opportunity to beat the Rams and beat Minnesota in the same calendar year. Okay. Two teams that you lost to both last year. You went to the Coliseum, you lost in the Coliseum. And you went down to Minnesota week 1 and you lost last year. Now you get to play them boys almost about 3 weeks apart? Something like that. Very, very interesting to see how that's going to respond for the Minnesota Vikings to keep themselves in the mix in the NFC in general. But I do have the Rams winning this game. I mean, what's misunderstood on me to be explained? I think them boys just have a little bit more edge right now, especially just keep, they won the Battle of L.A. this past weekend. I think they're going to win this game 31-20 would be my final score on Thursday Night Football with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman calling it on Fox tomorrow night. So I'm going to be tuned in for that one. I'm going to like that one a lot. So I'm definitely be ready for that one. So guys, look, it's the Wednesday midweek report. I never hold y'all too long on midweek reports. It's always a little short. Get my little advice going for the next couple of days. Listen, we'll be back Friday, start previewing LSU Ole Miss. We'll also be back Friday to start talking about the Giants and the Saints this coming up weekend. Look at a few top matchups in college football, a couple of top matchups coming in. We will talk about the Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football. I'm interested to see a little bit about that one. Hey, to be honest with you, with Cincinnati losing this past weekend to the Carolina Panthers and going back on the road to take on the Atlanta Falcons, back-to-back NFC South opponents, I want to see how Cincinnati going to respond. I also want to see how Atlanta going to respond. See if the Atlanta don't drop their season to 1-3 early. Be paying attention to all that, guys. Also, we're looking to see if we hear any more. But we'll probably, we'll probably take a glimpse look at Sunday night's game, a Sunday afternoon's game with the Pelicans and the Chicago Bulls this weekend. Talk a little bit about that. See who probably potentially start and what I'm looking for to see in the matchup this weekend. Guys, I love you. Enjoy your Wednesday. I know baseball's starting to heat up. Pay a little attention to that coming up soon when the playoffs about to start. I'll be back with y'all Friday afternoon. Y'all enjoy yourselves. Be blessed and be peace.